Hello and welcome to the Onboarding Unit Day 1 Help video. Today we are going to learn a little bit more about how to pin items to your taskbar, how to use the snipping tool, how to create new folders, how to download and edit a file in a lesson, and how to send an email to your teachers. I'd like to get started today by showing you how to pin an item to your taskbar. And this down here is your taskbar. You can see my cursor moving across the icons. These are the items that you use most often. And when we pin things here, even after we shut down our computer and reboot it, the items will be here for our use. So they're easy to access. In order to get to our snipping tool, which I do want to pin to the taskbar, you can see I have Word right here. It's already pinned to my taskbar. That's one of our document programs that we use quite a bit. We also use PowerPoint, so I recommend pinning both of those to your taskbar. I'm going to show you the snipping tool. So in order to access that, you need to press this Windows icon here down in the corner. That's your Start menu. And this little magnifying glass, which is a search icon. And I will type in the word snip, S-N-I-P, and it brings up the snipping tool icon here. So we want to double click this to make it open. And then you can see it shows up on the desktop. And the icon shows up on our taskbar. Since I want to pin this to the taskbar so it never goes away and it's always there ready for me, I will hover my cursor over the icon and then right mouse click. You can see that it says to pin to taskbar, so I will click on that, and now this icon will stay on my taskbar forever. In order to use the snipping tool, we do have to press the word New. Now the snipping tool, just before we get started on that, it is a very powerful tool in this environment. You can take snips of screens, and the snipping tool can allow you to park those in a PowerPoint presentation. So if you're using this to take notes for class, I do recommend creating a PowerPoint presentation for the Class Connect session. Put your snips in that PowerPoint and add your thoughts to those snips. The snips alone are not going to create good notes for your memory, but when you add your thoughts to them, it can be a great reminder of what the Class Connect session was about and what it is that you needed notes on. In order to use the snipping tool, we're going to press this New button, and you can see the screen grays out and I get these little crosshairs here. I like to park my snipping tool to the upper left of the object I want to snip. So I'll put mine here, and then I'll hold down my left mouse button and I will drag to the lower right. And you can see that red box, and everything that was inside that red box got captured on my snipping tool screen. And at this point, you can do a file save as, or you can copy this by pressing this icon here, and then you can go over to your PowerPoint presentation or a Word document and you can paste this into your program, and you would want to paste it as an image, okay, because this is an image. It's capturing a picture of your screen. You can use this pen tool to add little something. So if you want to point to a certain fact, you can do that right there. You can erase that if you want to, or maybe you have some ELA or history documents and you want to highlight a line of text. You can use your highlighter also. Okay, so that is your snipping tool. Now we're going to look at adding folders to our desktop. It is really, really important that we stay organized in our environment. We don't want a bunch of documents just laying all over the place, and we do want to be able to find them quickly. The best way to do that is to create a folder for each of your classes. So you'll create a folder for your 4 core classes. That's science, history, math, ELA. And then you'll create a folder for each of your elective courses. That would be art, PE, and health. And the way that we create a folder, so we put our cursor anywhere in the blank space on your desktop and you press your right mouse button. Go down to the word new and then go up to the word folder, and you want to click after the word folder is highlighted using the left mouse button, and it creates a new folder right here. We want to name that folder. So you'll type in the name of your folder and press enter, and now you have a new folder that you can save documents in for your history class, and you'll always know where to find them. All right, and now I want to show you a little bit about your courses and how to download and edit files from a lesson. This is your login page for the OMS. It's that welcome page. And this is mine. It looks very similar to yours. So we're going to click on classes, and what you'll find here is a listing of all of the classes that you have access to. So it should be your core classes and your elective classes. And we're going to go and find our onboarding unit, which is in our homeroom. And right here, I want to push this content button because that's where my lessons are. In every class, the lessons are found right here in the content area. So click on content, and I want onboarding unit day 1, and here it is. And we're going to look at the All About Me document. So I click on this and it brings up the document for me. And the directions say to fill out the yellow sections so I can get to know you better. When you're finished, save this document to your Earth Science folder. I need to save this. That means I'm going to need to download it. And so I'll look down here and there's a little download button. If I click on that, then it brings up a download right here. Sometimes there's an arrow up in this area of your browser, and that arrow is where your downloads are kept. So you click on the arrow and it'll bring up a little pop-up menu of all of your downloads. The one on top should be the one that you downloaded most recently. I'm going to click on this downloaded box so that I can open up the document. Okay, so I see I have this document here, but this doesn't look like Word normally does. Instead of my editing menus, I have this peach bar that says Enable Editing. If you don't press Enable Editing, you will not be able to change anything on your documents, and you also will not be able to save any changes. So if it does allow you to make a change, you can't save it. So you always want to remember the first step is to enable your editing. We'll click here. And now look, my editing menus show up. And at this point, I can work with this document and I can save my changes. While you're working through this particular document, you want to look for these yellow highlighted areas. That's where you can type. So click here, and then you can start entering information. And after you've entered your information, the yellow goes away and it's replaced with your typing. On these down here, you can only click on the yes or no, and it's just a little checkbox. So please try to choose one or the other, not both. And when you're done, you want to save this. So I did a file, save as, and I want to save it to the desktop in that science folder like the instructions said. And so I will look for my science folder. It's right here. So I'm going to double click that science folder to make sure that my document will go inside of the folder. It's labeled All About Me, and it has a number 2 after it. You might change that number 2 to your last name and press save. And now you can see it's all about me and it has my last name, so I know that this was saved properly. Now, I need to email this document to my teacher. So I'm going to show you how to send an email. I'm going to go back to our OMS. This is where we found our document. And I did that by pressing on my Google icon, the Chrome one. And then I'm going to press this little house up here. This takes me back to my OMS welcome landing page. And if you look over here to the right at the top, you can see a little envelope. This is your email envelope. So it tells you how many emails you need to read. I have one there. So if you get a new email, and maybe I got another new email, this will change to a 2 automatically. And you can go to your inbox from here. But right now, we'd like to create a message. And when I press create a message, it opens up this email box. So I will put my cursor in the to field, and typing your teacher's last name should bring up their email address. So we'll start typing last name. You can see here it brought up my name, Annalie Sturgeon, teacher. So you know that's a teacher, and that would be the proper person to email. And in the subject area, we're going to type all about me, because that's the document that you'll be turning in. And I need to attach the document to the email. So I'm going to click on that paperclip there. I'm going to go to my desktop, because I know my folders are located on the desktop. And I'm going to look down until I find my science folder, and I'll double click that science folder. And I find my document there. And then I don't want to send an email that's blank. So you always want to put in some information. There you go. And if you scroll down, there's a send button here. So you can press send, and that will send your email to your teacher. And it will have the All About Me document attached to it and ready to go. And then it turns blank. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in Onboarding Unit Day 2.